Just smile, nod, and act like you belong. That's all she had to do. Talia Monroe watched her cousin zip up a suitcase with one hand and toss a lanyard with the other. "You're actually serious about this?" Talia asked, catching the badge midair. "Completely. Just wear the press tag, take a few photos, and act like it's your job. No one cares who snaps the pictures as long as they look pretty. I haven't touched my camera in 6 months. You'll be fine." Her cousin winked and vanished through the door with a click. That's how Talia ended up standing in a stranger's hotel suite with borrowed gear and no clue how to fake being a wedding photographer. 30 minutes later, she stepped into the glass atrium of Lakeshore Villa Resort, where white chairs lined the lawn like chess pieces and flower petals blew across the tiles like confetti. In a simple navy jumpsuit, minimal makeup, and her auburn hair pulled into a neat twist, Talia hoped the oversized camera bag and mirrored sunglasses would sell the role. No one questioned her. That was the first surprise. The second came during the ceremony. She'd been doing what she remembered from past gigs: ring exchange, teary smiles, a blurry confetti shot. But then she noticed a quiet scene off to the side. A small girl, maybe 6, sat barefoot on the grass, tugging in a knot in her lavender sash. A man crouched beside her, not speaking, not coaxing, just gently slipping her shoe back on and tying it with care. He straightened the bow on her dress, dusted the grass from her shoulders. The little girl beamed. Click. Talia caught the moment instinctively. And just then, the man turned and looked directly into her lens. His expression didn't flinch, steady, unreadable, but not cold. He stood with the girl in his arms. Tall, late 30s, navy blue suit tailored like armor. Someone nearby whispered, "That's Beckett Hale, groom's older brother. Runs Hale Tech." So that explained the presence. The poise. Talia quickly turned back to the crowd, shaking off whatever strange flutter had stirred in her ribs. She was just here to get through the day. But the universe didn't agree. "Excuse me," the voice came from behind. Calm, Mel, familiar. She turned slowly. It was him. Beckett. Closer now, his presence even sharper in person, measured, powerful, but rooted. "Are you the lead photographer?" he asked, motioning to the DSLR slung over her shoulder. Talia hesitated. "Yes." He didn't press, just nodded. A tug at her pant leg made her glance down. The same little girl looked up, eyes wide. "Do you know how to take real pictures?" Talia knelt beside her. "Only of the most beautiful people." "I'm beautiful," the girl said matter-of-factly. "Not even gonna argue." Talia grinned. The girl lit up. Beckett let out the quietest trace of a laugh. Talia didn't look up right away, sensing he was watching, but not in the way most men did. It was protective, gentle. Later, someone called his name. He gave her a parting look. "Leona," he said to the child, "time to go." "Bye, picture lady," the girl called over her shoulder. "Bye, beautiful," Talia murmured back. The sun dipped low. Just as Beckett turned away, she lifted the camera and caught one more frame, him, carrying his daughter, golden light pooling behind them. She whispered to herself, "This one's different." 3 days later, her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Hey, this is Beckett Hale for my brother's wedding. Leona won't stop talking about you. Any chance you have some shots of her?" An image came through. A grainy phone snap someone else had taken, Talia mid-crouch behind the lens. He had asked around. Her heart tightened. She shouldn't have accepted the gig. She definitely shouldn't have felt anything. And yet, "Talia, I have a few. What's the best email?" His reply came instantly. That evening, she sent over a small batch, Leona twirling near a fountain, her hand in Beckett's, daisy petals in her braid. She expected that to be the end. But hours later, "Beckett, they're beautiful. Thank you. Would you consider a session? Just me and Leona? Nothing fancy. Talia, I don't usually do private shoots." "Beckett, she thinks you're magic." She stared at the message, smiled. "Talia, okay. 1 hour. 1 location." He picked Wren's Hollow, a park just beyond the city. She arrived early, camera in hand. Sunlight danced through leaves as Leona spun on a picnic blanket, paper crown askew. Beckett stood nearby in jeans and a t-shirt. Talia lifted the lens. "No suit today?" He smirked. "Had to dust off this hoodie." Special occasions. Leona giggled. He wore that when I spilled juice on his dress pants. You spilled it. I wore it. Details, she chirped. Talia laughed, real and easy. They moved through the session like it was play. No posing, no performance. Just Beckett lifting Leona into tree branches, letting her tape leaves to his shirt, brushing her cheek when the wind caught her hair. Then Leona plopped down beside Talia. Do you take pictures of your family too? Talia's hand stilled on the camera. No, she said softly. Why not? Just don't have many around. Leona tilted her head. You don't have a daddy. Talia paused. I did. A long time ago. The girl reached up and tucked a tiny clover flower into Talia's hair. You can be in our family today. Beckett watched silently, not with pity, but understanding. Later, he offered to carry her gear. She declined. He walked beside her anyway. You didn't have to say yes, he said. I almost didn't. So why did you? Talia looked at Leona, running through the tall grass. Because she smiled at me like I belonged. They didn't say goodbye. They didn't need to. Some connections don't start with hello. They begin when someone finally sees you. The attic above Talia Monroe's favorite bookstore had always been her quiet place. Cheap rent, creaky floors, warm light through a tilted window. She sat on the floor now, still in the hoodie Beckett had jokingly offered her when the wind picked up at the park. Her camera bag lay beside her, half-zipped. The walls were covered with photographs clipped to string, babies yawning, couples mid-kiss, old men beaming beside cakes. Beautiful moments, all belonging to someone else. Not a single one of them had Talia in it. She leaned back and stared at the empty spot above her bed. Then she reached into her bag, searching beneath lenses and batteries until her fingers brushed the soft tissue wrapping. Carefully, she pulled out the photo. Edges worn, colors fading, water stain blooming on one corner. But the image was still there, her parents on a dock in late summer sun, arms wrapped around each other, laughing. She had taken it at 15, 2 years before the crash. The photo had survived the fire, the grief, the guilt, everything. She tucked it back into the secret sleeve in her bag, not yet ready to let it go. Days passed. Then one afternoon, Beckett Hale found something unexpected. He was unloading camera equipment from his back seat, Talia's gear, which she'd absent-mindedly handed him to carry after their last shoot, when something slipped loose and landed on the sidewalk. It wasn't a lens cap. It was the photo. Well, folded, carried like a secret. He hesitated. It felt too private, too raw. But the pain in the way it had been tucked away called to something in him. He turned it over. No date, no name, just a small blue heart in the corner. That night, Beckett sat at his desk. The scanner whirred. He cleaned the glass, edited the scan slowly, carefully. He restored the faded sky, softened the jagged water damage, and brought their smiles into focus. Not perfection, but clarity. Then he printed it on archival paper and slid it into a simple wooden frame. Behind the print, he placed a note. 3 days later, Talia found the package leaning against her door. No return address. She opened it slowly. Inside was the photo. Her photo. Whole. Preserved. Alive again. Taped to the back. A handwritten card. You deserve to be remembered too. No signature. But she knew. She sank to the floor, frame in her lap, and cried. Not quiet tears. The kind that shook her ribs and peeled back years of silence. She cried for the girl who lost her parents. For the woman who thought staying behind the lens was the only way to be safe. For the man who had seen the parts of her no one ever had, and didn't look away. After that, Talia found herself near the Hale residence more often. Not on purpose. Not at first. She brought cinnamon bread, then cookies, then just herself. Leona would run out barefoot to greet her, hair wild, voice bright. Beckett always followed a moment later, feigning surprise, though Talia had begun to notice how he always seemed ready for her. One afternoon, they wandered through the wildflower field behind the neighborhood. It had become their quiet place. Leona ran ahead, arms out, sun in her curls. Then she tripped. Before Beckett could even move, Talia was there, kneeling, hands steady, wiping the dirt from Leona's knees, brushing away tears that hadn't yet fallen. "You're tougher than you look," she whispered. Leona sniffled. "It stings. I know. But maybe the flowers gave you secret strength." Beckett arrived, breath caught in his throat. Talia looked up and teased, "Dad of the year, huh? Your kid beat you to the rescue." He didn't respond. Not with words. Just watched the way she handled his daughter, with kindness, respect, calm. Later, they sat in the tall grass. Juice boxes. Apples. Wind tugging at Talia's hair. Her laughter rang out, and Beckett found himself staring too long. Back at the house, Leona tugged on Talia's sleeve. "Can you come again tomorrow?" "If your dad lets me," she said. Beckett opened his mouth, but yes felt too small. That night, he stood in the hallway, staring at a photo on the wall, one Talia had taken of him and Leona at the wedding. The light behind them, his arms around her. He never liked photos of himself, except that one. Beside it, a new frame. Leona and Talia mid-laugh, petals stuck to their hair. It wasn't posed. It was real. And for the first time, he wondered, what if she wasn't just passing through his story? What if she was part of it? The studio smelled like coffee and fresh ink. It was opening day. Talia had hung her best shots on the walls. A chalkboard sign outside read, "Monroe Photography, Grand Opening, 9 a.m. No one came. 10 a.m. Still no one. She straightened frames, smoothed her skirt. 11 a.m. A delivery van passed. Empty sidewalk. She sat in the front window, heart heavy. Maybe this was the universe's reminder. She was meant to be behind the lens, not in the frame. Then the doorbell chimed. Leona barreled in. Talia. She wrapped herself around her like a sunbeam. Behind her, Beckett walked in, holding a small brown package. "I wasn't sure anyone would come," she whispered. "I almost didn't," he said. But then I remembered what today meant. He handed her the box. Inside was her photograph of her parents. Framed. Restored. The original version, not altered. Still frayed at the edges. At the bottom of the matting, in his handwriting, "Let's start your story from here." Her breath hitched. Her fingers trembled. She looked up, eyes full. Leona tugged her sleeve. "We brought cookies, too." Of course they did. Beckett leaned closer. "I didn't know how to fix it. I just kept thinking that photo survived everything. And maybe, so did you. I was afraid you'd think I lied," she whispered. "You never lied. You were the most real thing in it." He stepped forward. She didn't move back. And then he kissed her. Not rushed. Not uncertain. Just two people, both bruised, finally letting someone in. Weeks later, Talia stood in her now busy studio, camera in hand, photographing a toddler covered in icing. Parents laughed behind her. She snapped the shot. "Perfect," she said softly. Not posed. Just true. Photos lined the walls now. But beside them hung one of her and Beckett and Leona mid-laugh cotton candy smiles. Another photo showed Talia on a hill at sunset, arms around Leona and Beckett, timers set on the tripod. The caption she'd scribbled behind the print read, "This is the photo I was always waiting to be in." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit that hype button and subscribe to Soul Chronicles for more stories that remind us how love, healing, and belonging can grow from even the smallest moment of grace. Stay soft. Stay strong. Keep believing in quiet beginnings.